Partnerships Program, which is a very comprehensive response to the development challenges which communities on both banks of Dnistru River are facing due to the protracted and frozen conflict in Transnistria. As you know, the conflict started back in 1992 when this breakaway region declared independence, and this was followed by violent clashes, and then sort of ceasefire agreement was reached. After these developments, OEC stepped in its role as mediator and facilitator, trying to support the efforts of Moldova and de facto authorities in Transnistria and find a peace settlement. After a couple of years, actually in 2005, the EU and the US, they have also joined this format, which is known as 5+2, and in their role as observers. And negotiations are going on, and these are political developments. UN is not part of this 5+2 simply because we don't have a mandate to be part in these political negotiations. However, we have a very strong normative mandate on human rights and also very strong development mandate as per the Charter of UN. So within the framework of our mandate, both on promoting and protecting human rights and on further advancing development, including promoting sustainable development, in 2009 we have established a very strategic, I would say, partnership with the European Union, and we started the implementation of a comprehensive set of measures trying to build trust, trying to reconcile communities on both banks of the river Dnistru, and also to make sure that there is mutual interest in the implementation of projects which are aiming at strengthening the capacity of civil society and working with civil society, strengthening the capacity and in particular institutional capacity of local authorities on both banks of the river Dnistru, refurbishing and reconstructing social infrastructure such as schools and kindergartens, local hospitals, also reconstructing and refurbishing economic infrastructure, refurbishing roads, and also providing support to small and medium enterprises, business startups. And last but not least, which is not part of this package, but when you look at confidence building measures as a package, there is fifth component, which is about improved border management. This is not an element of our ongoing program because there is another project which is funded by the European Union, which was implemented until last year, I guess, by UNDP, and now it is implemented by IOM, and this is called UBAM. And it's about improving border management between Moldova and Ukraine. So within the framework of the fourth phases of confidence building measures, since this year we have started the fourth phase, we have received $24.5 million, and we have implemented more than close to 600 projects. The number of beneficiaries comes up to 500,000, and we have achieved numerous tangible results. Currently there was an evaluation, an independent evaluation, looking at the development impact of our interventions, and the preliminary findings, since we haven't seen yet the report, are very positive. The conclusion made by the evaluator is that the confidence building measures are aimed at contributing towards addressing development challenges, not towards reaching peace settlement or addressing the root causes of the conflict. Hence, the expectations have to be well established from the onset.
Who made the evaluation and when is going to be released?
An independent evaluator who has been recruited by the EU delegation, so the report will be submitted to the EU delegation, and they can let you know when the report will be released.
Okay.
How were the domains chosen for this program? How did you choose the domains for this program?
You mean the projects which we are supporting? I mean, this is one of the interesting features or characteristics of confidence building measures approach as such. We are applying the so-called whole of society approach, meaning that we are engaging all relevant stakeholders in the work that we are doing. And our mantra, if you will, or our key philosophy is not to leave anyone behind. So we are trying to reach out to all those who are marginalized, who are vulnerable, and make sure that their voice gets heard. What does this mean in practical terms? Whenever we are selecting projects, this selection is not done by us per se. This selection is done by a group of stakeholders, let's say local authorities, civil society, private businesses, and they together decide on their priorities. And we are trying also to select projects which are of mutual interest and which are supported by communities on both banks, because the purpose of confidence building is to not just support some development initiatives on one of the two banks of the river, but make sure that they work together and they collaborate, and through this collaboration they move away from a hostile attitude towards more amicable ones, and when they have a mutual interest in, for example, building a bridge or building a drinking water pipeline or refurbishing a road which connects two communities, and by refurbishing it they can improve the trade opportunities, then they learn how to work together, and they're not anymore afraid of each other, but rather they see that by working together they can gain development benefits, and this could ultimately improve their living standards. So the selection is done by those who will benefit from our projects. And within the framework of the fourth phase, which was launched in the spring this year, we will implement 30 projects and on both sides of the river. And again, the selection is done, I mean, the priorities are defined by local communities, and the selection is done by a joint committee. And interestingly enough, we have already pilot tested one of the key comparative advantages of UN and UNDP, namely to be not only an impartial development actor, but also to be a convener and to be able to bring on board all relevant partners, not only stakeholders, not only beneficiaries, but also partners. We have established since the beginning of this program, back in 2009, we have established steering committee or a board, which is tasked with the responsibility to oversee the implementation and provide advice. And in addition to UNDP and the EU, we also have representatives from the UK Embassy, Swedish Embassy sitting on the board, plus representatives from the Moldova Bureau for Reintegration and representatives of civil society. So you can see that basically everybody is on board, and this ensures very sort of meaningful reach out to all those who have a stake, who benefit, but who could also contribute towards this confidence building. And once again, it's important for us to understand that the ultimate objective of this project is not to ensure that a settlement is reached, and not to ensure that the root causes for this conflict are addressed, because this is a political agenda. Our objective is through development efforts to support the political negotiations, but the fact that still, after so many years, there is no settlement agreement reached does not mean that this project has not been successful or is not successful.
You've already told us that the evaluation is not ready yet, but so far, besides the number of the beneficiaries, how do you evaluate the results? How do you count the results?
Well, the results should be looked at from qualitative and quantitative perspective. When we are addressing the capacity challenges or the lack of strong capacity, both with civil society organizations or with local authorities, investing in capacity development cannot be seen, cannot be touched, we need to look at it as a software, as a soft part of our intervention, and based on their subsequent actions in terms of better ability to plan, better ability to rank local priorities, improve communication with their constituencies. These are results which have been achieved thanks to our efforts. When it comes to infrastructure, this is much more easier. You go, you see, and you can touch basically what has been produced. And I've already mentioned that we have thus far implemented almost 600 projects. So this already speaks about the magnitude, but also about the development impact achieved by this project.
There are a lot of projects which results are concrete, like infrastructure or projects in the business sector, but we've seen also projects like that one made by the Academy of the National Academy of Chess from Moldova, or made by the Car Club from Moldova.
Yes.
Yeah. And that project made by the National Academy of Chess, they were making a contest, I suppose.
Do you know anything about this program?
Well, maybe my colleague can help me here. Perhaps I should let you know that I'm relatively new. I took up my responsibilities until February this year. And while my learning curve is very steep, and I'm trying to get as much information as I could about this program, which, as I said, started back in 2009, maybe not all the elements are known by me, so maybe Donna can help us with this question.
Because in projects like this, we were wondering how efficient they really are.
These are the projects of civil society, and they were assessed by the evaluator as well, very efficient. And the key element of civil society projects were the cross-river partnerships that they were establishing with the across the river, and this was a key element. They were selected for open competition. We had 4 competitions and more than 400 applications in total, selecting about 90 projects. So it was a very high competition that we have had. And these were very high, the projects that you have picked, they were very visible, especially the Automobilist Club. And the cooperation that they have, road safety is an issue in Moldova and on both banks of the river. And it was a partnership, trilateral if you want. It was a partnership for the K NGO, NGO from Chisinau, and NGO from Tiraspol. And they did joint activities promoting road safety in the country. I'm happy to mention also that as a result of this project, UN and WHO have joined also the road safety campaign globally and have enforced the agenda on road safety in the country. And this was the result of this project, this partnership that they established, the transfer of knowledge and experience and the exchange that they have had. And this is the meaning of the soft intervention, soft projects like this one for civil society NGOs, but they create opportunity for interaction and a platform for cooperation across the river, and enhancing opportunities for people to communicate, to share experience and knowledge, and avoid further isolation.
Okay.
Yeah, and like the chess contest.
Chess contest was, I think, the same. They had joint competition here in Chisinau and in Tiraspol. They also had very visible events here in the square that you see. There is a big chess table there. They have visibility events here, but also they have established chess clubs in Transnistria region, and we have trainings from Chisinau, and they exchanged this partnership and this experience of how to organize chess competitions, how to manage these clubs, and how to create new opportunities for children on the left bank.
So these projects, as you call them, soft projects, they are like image projects.
No, they're not image projects. They are projects which visibly and tangibly contribute towards building trust, towards showing people that through collective efforts, through working together, and through any types of interactions, they can really make a difference in the way they think about each other. And this is about changing mentality, and it's also about overcoming the isolation of some communities which are living on the left bank of the river. So it's not an image per se, it brings something which is really tangible.
Enhancing opportunities and creating showing how many opportunities are in people's lives on both banks.
And overcoming hostilities and threats, because if you live in isolation and if you don't have access to information and if you don't know what your neighbor on the other bank of the river looks like and how by working with him you can improve the way you're living your life, then you will be always afraid of him or her. So we are opening up this closed doors, if you will, and we're trying to change their mentality by helping them work with each other.
What do you think that will be the future for UNDP in this region? You told us that UNDP doesn't have a mandate to negotiate at the political level. Would it be this possible in the future, or are there any intentions, negotiations to have a political mandate to be involved in?
No. As you know, the governing body of UN is our General Assembly, and getting engaged in such type of protracted conflicts is something which can be sanctioned by the Council, by the Security Council. And so far, we don't see any reason why UN should be engaged in resolving this protracted conflict. However, as we have been doing in the past and currently, we will continue working on our human rights and development mandate. And we hope that through our development efforts, we'll be able to contribute to a successful completion of the negotiations.
Do you want to add something?
No. Poți să ne spui numele tuturor frumos?
Doina Munteanu.
Is there anything else that you didn't?
No, perhaps a question to you. I mean, why you think this is a topic which would be interested for your visitor, for the audience for which you are working?
Audience?
Yeah.
Because people in Romania are interested in what is happening here,
Mm-hmm.
and because we want to make more visible in Romania development issues, because usually people don't know that EU is giving money for development projects. They also don't know that Romania is contributing to development projects, and we want to make more visible these aspects.
And perhaps in the line of these thoughts, I should mention that we also have a very strategic partnership with the government of Romania. We are jointly implementing currently 3 projects. And they are, one of these 3 projects is with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and European Integration. And the ultimate objective of this, which is again a partnership initiative, is not only UNDP and the government of Romania, there are other partners, but the ultimate objective is to support the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which is the leading partner when it comes to economic integration and political association, to support the efforts towards then the negotiation of the association agreement and its approval and ratification, and now its implementation. So far, the results have been really very impressive, and experts from Romania have helped the ministry to approximate the EU acquis to the local legal framework. And now the most difficult part comes into play, and this is the implementation of the association agreement, which is a bit lagging behind, but you're aware of the political situation in the country, and this is one of the reasons why the implementation is not as per the expected schedule. And we have 2 more initiatives, 2 other initiatives, and they are all about, if you will, capacity development. The second one is with the National Council on Integrity, and this is about supporting the efforts towards curbing corruption and improving transparency and accountability of public institutions. And the third one is within the framework of a broader justice sector reform. And the government of Romania is providing funding for vocational training for juvenile prisoners in one of the prisons in Moldova. So all in all, I believe this partnership has so far brought impactful results, and we'll be happy to continue working with the government of Romania. And your embassy here is very active, and we are really happy being a partner and working with them.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.